Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are checking out the farmer build. What can replace Striker AC? We all miss him, we all loved him. He was the best farmer in the game, and in fact, I think Fortnite 128 might be a little more difficult without him. However, we're going to try to remake him here. Now, there's arguments that this might not be the best build for farming, but I think it's pretty decent. Where it really does not shine and falls off hard is not farming, but actually combat. Now, Striker AC 6-7 months ago had received a buff to where his punch started doing actual damage. Back in the day, it did not. Maybe it did like 6,000 to 8,000 damage. Then all of a sudden they buffed it. It went farther, it hit harder, it had more impact, and it would literally like quarter hit smashers, which was fantastic for this weapon or for this character, but it doesn't always work. However, they took him away and now he's no longer here, so we need to figure out a new character to farm. Now, unlike the Reclaimer build where you can just change your commander here, there are more options for this build in particular. We're going to go over them right now, check them all out, and you guys can decide on which ones you want, but this is probably my favorite one. Now, White Sushi on Reddit, if you guys don't know him, he is the numbers guy on Reddit. Kenjiro, my numbers guy, is trying to catch up to him. He did put out a couple day one builds, and one of them is the farmer build. Now, let's just read what he says. Last but not least, we have our farming build. After anti-material charge got changed, it doesn't feel relevant anymore, at least farming wise. This I have to disagree on, and you'll see footage in a second of exactly how good it is for farming. Even with strike cost in main, we are still looking at over 20 energy per punch, 5 punches before having to wait for energy regen, and almost no range. That I do agree with, but we can kind of change it. However, pickaxing stuff still feels absolutely amazing. With work in commander, the player breaks most rocks in 4 to 3 hits if you hit a single crit. The rest of the supports are just to supplement mobility, and you can still punch stuff once in a while. Most importantly, remember to set your game to private if you wish to farm materials. That last one is very important, but let's break this down. I don't really agree with too much here. I had great results with using Archaeological Jess, who is going to be our main commander here, but he does have some good points. So if you are building a farming thing, you definitely want a couple of things. You want strike cost cooldown if you're looking for that kind. Otherwise, you can do a pickaxe build, but here, this video, we are trying to replicate Striker AC, and Striker AC is definitely a puncher. Now, I think punching got kind of nerfed regardless. This character right here might be the new puncher, but even her, it just doesn't feel the same, like he said, because now you have to pull out your pickaxe to punch and you'll no longer have your weapon out. But you have a couple options here. If you're trying to rebuild Striker AC, I definitely recommend Arc Jess. I can never say that word. I don't know why. You could, if you wanted to, put work here, and that's just a regular Pathfinder. Now, if we are trying to recreate Striker AC as the goal of this video, you could change around your command slots. As White Sushi said, he said punching isn't as effective as it used to be, and it's not. The fact that you just have to take out your pickaxe to use it is an issue in combat, and like I said previously, the damage has definitely fallen off. It used to be pretty good, almost like a mini Dragon Slash, but it just doesn't work the same anymore. However, we are trying to make a Striker AC build to the best of our ability. So in my opinion, you definitely are going to want to use Arc Jess. You're going to definitely want to use Arc Jess. What she does is anti-material charge heavy attack efficiency down by 128%. That allows you to punch about 5 times, like White Sushi said. However, team perk, this is where you can definitely change some things around. Me personally, I like long arm of the law. Anti-material charge range is increased by 1 tile. All you need for that is 2 Outlanders. Now, this one, and there's one other one that might be useful, which is 1-2 punch. For hero with 2 or more stars, your heavy attack after using an ability costs 20% less energy. This is usable especially since we are going to focus on mobility. Mobility is very important in this build as the punch doesn't carry you as far, and since you're using your stamina so much more, getting this is definitely worth it. It stands to be said that you can either punch one extra time or be able to move a little bit longer for your punch. Which one is better? I'm not sure. They might round out to be the exact same thing. If you use Long Arm of the Law, you will be able to kill those two cars next to each other. If you use the other one, you'll be able to punch those two cars individually. Which one works out better? I feel like Long Arm of the Law is going to win out for those situations where things are like on a corner or a bunch of cars lined up in a row. I feel like Long Arm of the Law wins. So that we have our commander out of the way and our team perk, we're going to check out what support team you should bring. Now, I originally attempted to do a build that mimics Striker AC, his punch, his mobility, his farming efficiency. However, it's just not replicable. It really isn't. The damage fall off on the punch, even with the punching perks, the AMC perks that you can choose, just don't do enough. The range is gone, the impact is gone, everything feels a little weaker. So in this case, we're going to take a page out of White Sushi's build, and we're going to focus mainly on mobility. Now, I still enjoy using the punch, and 5 punches is nothing to scoff at when you're trying to farm, especially if there's a bunch of rocks or a bunch of cars. You can manage your energy efficiently and try to get the most you can. So we have Arc Jess here, Long Arm of the Law here, and our first one is going to be Fleetfoot Ken. This increases your movement speed by 12.5%, allowing you to move around the map with insane speed. If you do not have Fleetfoot Ken, you can try Night Stalker, even higher movement speed, but only at nighttime. Just so you guys know, by the time you usually get the mission started, it is nighttime. Those are the two I would suggest for this first slot if we're focused on mobility. Next up, with the mobility kind of idea here, we're going to check out Phase Forward. Phase Forward grants an additional 30% movement speed for 33 seconds after phase shifting. So this was on almost all Outlanders kits before this change, and it feels really good. The second you're done with your phase shift, you start sprinting really fast, and it lasts for 3 seconds, allowing you to move around the map even more. Phased and Confused is up next. Phased and Confused increases phase shift maximum charges by 1. This character, I believe, gets 4 with this slotted in here, but some characters get up to like 5 or 6, I believe. I think I played Shock AC with 8, I think. I'm not really sure, but this is definitely something to keep in mind. Once again, focusing on mobility, allowing you to move around the map. Phased Out gives you a 25% cooldown on your phase shift, which is kind of weird because it's kind of instant, but maybe once you run out of them, it takes off, 2 or 3 seconds from your next one. Again, focused on mobility. We have Work here, and it increases your pickaxe damage by 17%. 17% is not a lot, but at least it allows you to farm faster while either you're out of energy or your phase shift is on cooldown. You can hit a couple of rocks, and by the time it's back up, you can switch to your pickaxe and then anti-material charge once again. It's a very decent build for farming. The sad part is I don't think we can remake Striker AC in all of his former glory. The punch is just too neutered to actually do damage. Now, I haven't really played around with a fully functional punching build, but what I used to have on this character to mimic Striker AC, which is kind of what you would build if you were to try to do that, just wasn't working. The punch was only half hitting small husks. It was really sad to see. I'm not really sure if it's possible to actually make one, but for farming and farming alone, this is your best setup. If we are trying to mimic Striker AC the best we can, anti-material charge heavy attack efficiency by 128% is definitely the way to go. Long Arm of the Law allows you to punch a little bit further. However, the gimmick here is that you are moving at the speed of sound. You are no longer using your punch for combat at all. You will rarely ever use that, and it sucks, but it is what it is. So this is definitely the build. 12% movement speed, 30% movement speed after phase shift extra charges, the cooldown is reduced, and your pickaxe damage is increased. The gadgets, you can either run Adrenaline Rush or Hover Turrets, depending if you're farming. If you run into a smasher, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. The turrets can help. However, if you want to change to something, I would definitely go Supply Drop. Running around on a map, being able to drop this every 4 or 5 minutes while you're, while you're chopping down trees and breaking bricks and looking for herbs and bacon, this can definitely help out and get you a lot more materials a lot faster. But these are the builds I would definitely go. This is the best Striker AC build that you can mimic as of right now. And that's it, guys. The first episode of Lock and Loadout, the Reclaimer version 2, did fantastic. So it's actually the second biggest video on my channel, or second video with the most growth in the fastest amount of time on my channel. So thank you guys so much for that. So we're going to continue to make these builds. This is Striker V.2, and next up we're going to probably do a soldier with infinite war cry. That might be a thing. We're going to check that out today on stream, and I'll get back to you afterwards. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I feel like this one is a little more concise and straightforward in exactly what to do. I think I'm getting a hang for how I want to do these videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to come by the stream at twitch.tv/roundedtiktak this Saturday. Huge giveaway. Don't forget, sunbeam weapons, everything you want. I promise it's going to be a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. If you have anything you want to ask or comment or try a build out, leave it in the comments below. I get back to every single one that I can. Thank you guys so much. TikTak out.